Hi, I'm Johnny and you're watching the Hexy Beast, and on this very special episode I'm actually getting to the finale of my Shelf by Shelf series. So in this episode we're going to be covering On Top of the Shelves. Anyway, let's just get on with the video and have a look at some games, shall we? So here we are back at it again with a Shelf by Shelf, and this time it's going to be the last episode for a while. Well, at least until the next round when I get through all the games that was added throughout the series. Anyway, if you've been sticking with the series up to this point, I just want to say thank you. And anyway, let's just get on with looking at some games, shall we? So this shelf, I swear, is a portal to another realm because there's so many games to go through, so we're just going to start nice and easy. And this is where some of my expansions for the Mutants card game lives. And this is quite a fun little card game. It's from Sen Fung Lim, the same guy who's designed a few games that are based on apps, including it's up there somewhere, I can't remember what it's called, Kingdom Rush, that's the one, Kingdom Rush. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the Mutants card game. It's kind of a cool little deck building structure with like a timing based mechanics, and overall it looks very pretty, and I quite like the designs from the app as well, so it's just kind of a win-win situation. That's why I've got those expansions. Moving on to the next game. A game I've tried to love so many times, but I just can't bring myself to play it any other way than digitally. It is Gloomhaven Jaws the Lion. This was my attempt to get into a physical version of Gloomhaven. I've got through the first 5 chapters, but it hasn't really hooked me. So it's kind of still going in the play pile. But because it didn't hook me, I actually don't think I'll be getting it out again. But who knows, maybe I'll find a friend or someone who really wants to go through it, and I'll just go through it for the sakes, and maybe I'll end up liking it. But right now, for me, the best way to play Gloomhaven is digitally on my PC, so that one kind of counts. Next, we have the Outer Rim expansion, the the Unfinished Business expansion. I'm going to have to read some of these boxes because they're up on the shelf. This is a really cool expansion for Star Wars Outer Rim from Fantasy Flight Games. This basically adds new end tiles, a lot more cards in those encounter decks and stuff, which is what the game really needed. So all in all, that is a very good expansion. There's not really much more to say about that. If you have Outer Rim, you kind of really want to get that. Next, we have my first time I tried the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective series, and this is the Baker Street Irregulars pack. This is actually quite a fun game. I didn't really play it properly when I did play it, and I didn't really play it solo when I play it either, because me and my wife were just kind of pretending to be sleuths, and we were really enjoying having some fun with this, a bit of role playing, some stupid accents and stuff. It went down really well, so yeah, I'd recommend this for anyone. Anything in the Sherlock Holmes Consultant Detective series. It's been around for a long time, to be fair, but it is one of those things that a lot of people love. There's a lot of love for that series, and I can totally see why after playing that version. Anyway, what else was on the top? Aha, some small stuff. We'll go for this. Okay, so next we have the premium token pack for Spirit Island, which I still haven't opened yet, and Luke Hector from the Broken Meeple is going to have a go at me about it because he keeps telling me to add it to my game, and I still haven't managed to because I keep playing the digital version again. But with now I've got these, I think I'll be more encouraged to get the main game to the table, the actual board game. So yeah, that was a token pack for Spirit Island. Next we've got the Transformers deck building game, which I have only played once or twice, and as far as I can remember, it has like a cool 9-card map mechanic in order to acquire cards and stuff. I haven't played it in a while, but I remember enjoying it when I did play it. It's a pretty fun deck building game. I also think they did like a G.I. Joe themed version of the same game, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, what's next on the shelf? I'm sorry if it seems like I'm going fairly quickly, but that's mainly because this is a funny story. This also lives up here. This is the Lonely Undead. This is actually a prototype for a game I covered a while back on the channel, and it didn't fund. And after I sent it off, the designer got hold of me and said, since it didn't fund, would you like the prototype back because you seem to really enjoy it? So I said yes, and it came back to me. So I have probably one of only a few copies of this game to ever exist. I just hope he updates it and brings it back out, because I think it could have done really well, but it needed a little more development, I think. But overall, I actually quite enjoy the mechanics of this game. So yeah, that's that prototype from over there. Another thing I got from last year's UKG, actually, when I met with Mark Monk, we did like a sort of review game swap, was Curators, which is actually like a little puzzle game. It doesn't take that long to play, especially solo. There is a review of this on the channel, so if you want to go check that out. It's okay, but I haven't played it much since I finished the campaign in it. It has like a series of missions which counts a campaign. So everything here so far has been played. Now the first thing in the not played pile is going to be Escape from the Overlook Hotel. It is a game from the op about The Shining, and they sent me this the same time as they sent me some of the other games you've seen me cover, like the Cuphead dice game. And I just haven't got around to playing it yet. So seeing as Halloween's coming up, I might actually give this a go and see what it's about. Anyway, that's the first game in the not played pile from the finale of my Shelf by Shelf. Next, we have a big one that I know a lot of people love, but it just wasn't for me because I couldn't leave it out for days on end to finish it. Was Sleeping Gods. I almost call it Sleeping Dogs after the PC game, but every time I have to read the box, so it's Sleeping Gods. This game, it's kind of like a fun adventure game, and I can see why a lot of people would like it. I really enjoyed the narrative elements of it, but like I said, the fact that I couldn't leave it out on my table overnight to actually finish it became a bit of a problem for me. I didn't really like the save bag system, so I'll probably be looking to move this on soon actually. I might take it to GridCon with me and just give it away to someone, because I know a lot of people really want to try this and it just wasn't for me. And I've only got it out like twice, so if anybody wants it and sees me at GridCon, nudge me, and then if I don't have it, I've already given it away, sorry. So I have played it, but you know, not for long. So next we have, what do we have? We have, oh, this is another fun story. I got rid of my, I got this off a viewer from a channel, and I swapped some games for it, and I actually preferred it to the games I swapped, which I think was Eldritch Horror. I can't remember, it was a while ago now, but that definitely goes in the play pile. There's a review of that on the channel as well. That was Elder Sign from Fantasy Flight Games. Next, we got something that people think is an absolutely amazing solo game. It is War's Edge, and I really liked it. I've only played a couple of missions of it so far. I cannot remember if I reviewed it or not. I might have, I might not. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, I quite enjoy it, and it does come out, but nowhere near as much as Coffee Roaster because I'm a bit of a coffee nut, so I kind of end up doing that. That goes in the played pile. These piles are getting a bit unruly, and just remember, this is all just off the top of the shelving unit. So what next? Oh, here we go. We have Hellboy. We have the Hellboy board game, which I just dropped on the floor, but it's okay. I grabbed it. It's fine. Everything's fine. No one was hurt in the process. So this, I'm gonna kill myself in a minute. So this is gonna be the Hellboy board game, which is kind of like a dungeon crawler set in the Hellboy universe. Has some cool art and stuff. It kind of really calls back to the comics, and I like that. Good fun from Mantic Games, and let's move on to the next game. No, isn't it? It's Dark Horse Comics and Mantic Games, sorry. I'm just getting confused today. So that was Hellboy off the top of our shelf. What have we got next? Oh, let's go for something a little smaller because that's kind of hurting me now. Okay, so for something a little bit smaller, we've got a box that was actually heavier than that in Batoku, which is a Euro game which was really popular at last year's Essen, and I still haven't played it yet, so it's actually going to go into this pile over here of the not played games. So now we have 2 games over there, and I haven't counted these. There's a lot of these. I play too many games, I think. Is that even a thing? Okay, next is a game I won at GridCon a few years ago in the raffle, and that is the Unlock Adventures game by here. I haven't played it yet, mainly because I want to find people to really enjoy it, and you can't really replay them once you play them once, so it's something I want to play with people, and as I'm mainly a solo gamer, it just really hasn't been played yet, but I'm keeping it because my wife likes the look of it, so I know when she's in the mood we'll get that going. Next game on this list is actually another thing I haven't played, but it's an expansion to a game I have played, which is Where My Arkham Horror Lives, which is down there, which is why you haven't seen it yet. But this is the Edge of the Earth campaign expansion for the Arkham Horror card game. It's one of the most recent chapters. I like the snowy motif. It might come out around Christmas time. Stupid time for Arkham Horror, I know. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting into that. One of those campaign expansions. I've got the Investigators around somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. What's next? Okay, these are just getting heavier. I don't know how I got them all down off the shelf. There's a reason I'm breaking a sweat in this video. Next we have Nemesis Lockdown, which also kind of lives on top of that shelf, and you've only seen an unboxing so far, but I have played the digital version on Ready Steady Play, which was quite a laugh because the Queen came out in like my second turn. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, so this is the base game. I've also got expansions that you've probably seen dotted around, and I might have brought up in this series already. So yeah, that is Nemesis Lockdown. So what's next? Oh, it needs to go on the pile. Okay, the pile is now extending to the floor. This isn't good. This isn't good, guys. we're running out of space for games. It's going to be a disaster any second. I'm going to pick that game up twice, you watch. We'll talk about that before the end of the video, I think. Next we have, another biggie. Folklore the Affliction. It's a sort of dark fantasy based dungeon crawl style campaign game. Has a big overland adventure going on with it, as well as it taking up a lot of table real estate. The maps are lovely. I really enjoy it. It has a cool percentile dice system in it, which I quite enjoyed. And yeah, so that's Folklore the Affliction. I haven't finished it yet, but I have played it, so it's going to balance precariously on top of Warp's Edge over by here. Got a bit of wobble on the go now. Okay, so next, it's another small game from Danny Arteschini. We have one of the only T games I think I own, which is Teotihuacan from Board and Dice, which is actually a really fun game, but it has a ridiculously complex bot. Sorry, David Tertius is probably, I understand why it does it, but it's not my favourite bot of yours. But yeah, so I really enjoy the game actually, but yeah, I need the app to run the bot because pyramids. Next, this, I'm gonna fall over at any second because I'm having to reach over and get these games. Okay, next we have Legendary, James Bond. I'm starting to get tired now, I'm breaking a sweat, aren't I? James Bond 007, the Legendary. It's a deck building card game. My favourite in the Legendary series because I'm a bit of a Bond fan. A lot of people are not a fan of the fact that it uses stills instead of art, but I really like seeing stills from the movies because, like I said, I enjoyed the movies. There is also an expansion in here for the extra missions or something. They brought out like a couple of them. And yeah, so that's Legendary. James Bond, deck building game. Will it fit there? Yeah, it will. Okay, so this is balanced with there. Next, in the... we're actually not far from the end now, guys. It's only a couple of games left. Well, it's technically... there's only one game left, actually. So the game that's next, and finally on this list, is my Too Many Bones collection. And I think this game has got like my top 10 game 2 years in a row. And I obviously like it enough because I bought Undertow as well. As the base game, I got all of this pretty much. As well as that, we've also got some Splice and Dice here. Yeah, see, we got more. This is definitely a played pile. Don't confuse that for being a not played pile. This is probably like the heaviest game I own. Not in weight, but in weight, if you know what I mean. And next we have this ghillie box, which has a few gear locks in it, which I've just kind of condensed down. I kind of thinking I should probably get a trove box, but if I look around me, I don't think there was any more games around. Let's have a look. I think we've actually got to the end of the top of that shelf. So anyway, if you've been enjoying the content, please feel free to smash our subscribe button up here and check out another one of my videos by here. I've been Johnny, you've been watching the Hexy Beast. Thank you for watching, and most of all, stay Hexy everyone.